Today's episode in our mini series, Critical Biosecurity Risk in Swine Production, focuses on loading and unloading zones, the weakest link. I'm joined by Dr. Gisele Ravagnani from Lanxess. Welcome again, Gisele.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. Why are loading and unloading zones such a critical point for biosecurity breakdowns?
Jim, so these loading and unloading zones are a high risk because it represents a direct interface between the farm's internal and external biosecurity or area, right? So you're connecting what is outside to what is inside the farm or inside the barns. So this is where pigs, people, vehicles, equipment in airspace converge often simultaneously. So unlike barns, these areas are exposed to transport vehicles that have visited multiple sites, different barns or farms, and potentially carrying pathogens in manure residue or organic debris, tires, wheels, trailers, and the driver contact as well. So at the same time, pigs moved through these zones experience stress, which can, increase shedding and susceptibility to infection. This risk is amplified by the fact that these areas are frequently under time pressure and often in challenge conditions. So weather, traffic flow, labor constraints. So even operations with strong biosecurity can be compromised if pathogens enter through a poorly controlled loading or unloading zone. So in many disease investigations, these transition points, these transition areas are identified as the initial bridge point.
What are the most common mistakes you see in how these areas are designed or managed?
Well, there are several recurring issues, but I'll explain rank four, three to four um, common mistakes. So the first is the poor separation between these clean and dirty zones. So loading docks are often not cleared, divided into biosecured, so the farm, and non-biosecured area, so where the transport is. And this allow this cross-contamination, right? When people, tools, and animals move back and forth without proper controls. Um, Second is shared traffic and equipment. So the same personnel may handle pigs inside the barn and assist at the truck without changing footwear, clothing, or gloves. So equipment such as boards, pedals, and sorting panels are sometimes shared between trailers and barns. So usually you have a crew inside the barn and another one outside on these loading areas. Um, Third point, it's design limitations. Many older facilities lack dedicated loadout rooms, sealed chutes, or control airflow. Open ramps and docks allow contamination from trailers, splashes, aerosols, even windborne material as well. And finally, variability in execution. So protocols, step by step, may exist, but compliance can vary by shift, person, and even urgency of the situation. So when loading become routine, risk perception decreases and shortcuts become more likely. So especially if people do not fully understand the consequences. So it's really important to educate and let people know the importance of their actions and their work as well in during this process.
So, what changes, either in layout or process, can make the biggest impact right away?
I think the biggest immediate impact comes from strengthening this separation between external transport and internal farm environment. So pay attention on this gap between your internal biosecurity and external biosecurity, this environment, and combined with the consistent training again, right, and education, enforcement of people that are involved in on this area. So from a layout perspective, establish a clearly defined line of separation between clean and dirty zones, use of dedicated loadout rooms and sealed chutes when possible, prevent trailer access beyond the design non-biosecured area. I know there are farms where people use clothes or even shoes in different colors, so you can visualize, oh no, you should stay on the dirty zone and you should stay, right here inside the barn on the biosecured zone. So it's easy, right, to identify. And from a process perspective, required farm side only, right, that I was explaining, it in not just clothes and footwear, but also tools, dedicated handling equipment, enforced cleaning, disinfection of these loadout areas, and control personnel movement so no one transitions between zones without changing biosecurity status. So equally important, it's ongoing education. People, right, have to comply with the biosecurity when they understand it and why it matters. So small, consistent changes at loading and unloading points often deliver large biosecurity gains. So making this an ideal place to focus immediate improvement efforts.
Dr. Ravani, thank you again for your insights.
Thank you, Jim.